We think of artificial intelligence as living in the cloud, invisible, weightless. But what if the biggest threat to this revolution isn't missing code, but a lack of water?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild to think about.
Beat, welcome to the deep dive. Today we are ripping the invisible label off the cloud. We are looking at the massive physical reality of the AI gold rush. We are unpacking the hidden hardware costs.
It's definitely not just software anymore.
Right. First, we'll look at SpaceX. They just issued a bizarre new warning to the SEC regarding local plumbing.
Which is just, like, so unexpected.
It really is. Then we scale up. We will examine the trillion-dollar corporate arms race happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, we look at Nvidia. They have a massive new plan to bypass the cloud completely. They want to put the AI directly on your desk.
It's a fascinating shift in the landscape. We are moving away from abstract software. We are entering a world of concrete, copper, and cooling pipes.
Yeah. Let's start with those physical constraints. This brings us directly to SpaceX. Now, SpaceX also includes Elon Musk's xAI division.
All right, the AI brand.
Yeah, exactly. They recently warned Wall Street investors about a totally unexpected risk. Access to clean municipal water is now a major risk factor for growth.
It sounds totally absurd at first glance. You think about rocket launches and, cutting-edge code. You don't usually think about local water shortages.
But securing water is now deemed absolutely critical.
Exactly. It is right up there with locking down regional power grids.
Yeah.
It is just as vital as hoarding the newest Nvidia chips.
I like to think of modern data centers like massive digital steam engines.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Just like a 19th century locomotive needed physical water to create steam, these massive AI brains generate intense friction. They generate immense heat.
Right.
If you don't literally dump millions of gallons of water on them, the engine melts. Local plumbing has become the ultimate bottleneck.
Absolutely. We have to understand why these new servers are different.
How exactly does a lack of water change the physical architecture of these companies?
Well, traditional data centers just host websites or email. They run on standard processors. But AI requires parallel processing.
Okay.
They use massive arrays of graphics cards running simultaneously.
Wow.
Beat. The power density in one single server rack is unprecedented.
So they run incredibly hot.
Insanely hot. Water is simply the cheapest, most effective way to cool them down. Site selection is literally dictating technology right now.
Wow.
Water availability decides where these massive new data centers are built.
And the SEC is currently combing through this new filing. We don't know if regulators force this specific environmental disclosure, but the entire data center industry is facing a massive environmental vibe check.
Yeah, the filing itself is very explicit. Local droughts could easily throttle their data center capacity.
Right.
Sudden government regulations regarding water usage could do the exact same thing.
Competition for municipal water might skyrocket operational costs overnight, too.
Absolutely. And if the local water dries up, the backup plan is brutal. SpaceX warns they might be forced to pivot entirely.
To what, exactly?
They would have to use alternative cooling techniques. This means moving to complex closed-loop systems.
What does a closed-loop system actually entail?
Instead of cycling cheap municipal water, you use chemical refrigerants. It is a completely sealed system.
Which is way more expensive to build, right?
Oh, way more expensive and far less efficient to operate. You can't just pack servers tightly into an existing warehouse anymore. You have to spread them out. You have to design entirely new architectural footprints. You need massive new power supplies just to run the refrigeration compressors.
Wow.
The basic physical footprint of the company balloons in size. Also, as a quick financial side note, SpaceX is reserving up to 5% of its IPO stock.
Ah, right. For employees and insider friends?
Yeah. But back to the hardware, the costs are astronomical.
So without cheap water, the cost of being smart becomes financially impossible.
Right. And that rising cost changes the entire economic model of AI.
Yeah.
It is a massive problem.
Which brings us to a really critical transition. If physical water and space are such limiting factors, you'd think tech companies would slow down.
You would definitely think so.
Instead, they are doing the exact opposite. They are pushing the hardware to the absolute breaking point. The capital being poured into cloud AI right now is staggering.
It really is an arms race right now. Alphabet is planning to raise $80 billion in debt.
Wow.
This is just to expand their physical infrastructure. Demand for Google's AI services is growing much faster than their supply.
They actually expect their total AI-related CapEx to hit $190 billion.
Yeah.
CapEx just means money spent on physical corporate assets like equipment. beat $190 billion this year alone. That is a staggering amount of hard currency.
It is.
What does that actually buy in the real world?
Well, it buys acres of prime real estate near cheap power grids.
Mm.
It buys massive concrete bunkers. It buys private electrical substations.
And thousands of miles of high-speed fiber optic cables.
Exactly. And they aren't alone in this massive spending spree. Anthropic just confidentially filed to go public.
Right. They did this days after hitting a near $1 trillion valuation.
Yeah. And they just secured $65 billion in fresh funding. The AI IPO race is accelerating wildly.
The software side is equally aggressive. We are seeing a race for the ultimate everything app. Microsoft isn't just building a single tool anymore.
Right. They want to merge GitHub Copilot, their chat functions, Cowork, and Autopilot. They want one unified AI super app running constantly in the background.
OpenAI and X are racing toward the exact same goal. They want you inside a single, inescapable ecosystem.
It's kind of wild. xAI just opened access to a model called Grok Build 0.1. It is a new agentic coding model.
An agentic coding model is software that writes and fixes code independently.
Yeah. It doesn't just answer questions, it can plan out entire projects. It can refactor complex architecture.
To refactor just means restructuring existing code without changing its external behavior.
Exactly. It iterates across complex coding tasks autonomously. And the pricing is the wild part. It starts at just $1 per million input tokens.
Input tokens are the basic chunks of text an AI reads first.
Right. And it's incredibly cheap for that profound level of autonomy. Developers can spin up hundreds of these agents simultaneously for pennies.
Wait, let me push back on that for a second. It is cheap in terms of a software subscription.
Sure.
But didn't we just establish that the physical cooling costs are astronomical? If the software costs $1, who is eating the massive physical cost of the power and water?
That is the trillion-dollar question. Right now, the tech giants are subsidizing that compute cost. They are swallowing the massive infrastructure bills just to capture market share. They are betting that once everyone is hooked on these agents, they can raise prices later.
The physical world is merging directly with the software world, too. OpenAI is now hiring engineers to build real physical robots.
Yeah, they have open roles for electrical engineering. They were looking for actuator design.
They want machine learning systems experts. They're even hiring 3D printing lab technicians.
It is moving off the screen and into the physical room.
Microsoft is pushing heavily into the physical health space, too. They just launched Copilot Health.
Oh, right. It combines wearable hardware stats, lab reports, and traditional medical records.
Everything lives in one place. They even partnered with Harvard Health to build this out securely.
We are seeing deeply integrated daily tools pop up everywhere. Mina is a new meeting assistant. It doesn't just transcribe.
No, it actively participates in meetings. It responds in real time, pulls context, and executes tasks. There is Social Echo 2.0 too. It's an AI social media co-pilot that runs marketing campaigns autonomously.
There's a lot.
2 sec silence. Looking at this sheer volume of tools and money, I'll admit I still wrestle with prompt drift myself. It's overwhelming.
It really is a lot to take in at once.
And prompt drift is when an AI slowly starts ignoring your original instructions. You give it a task, and an hour later, it's doing something slightly different.
It's super frustrating.
It is. And beyond those small glitches, there is a darker side to this rapid expansion. We saw a video of an AI founder recently.
Oh yeah, he was controlling his entire computer with only his voice.
The AI was navigating his desktop perfectly. Many are comparing his fluid setup to Steve Jobs unveiling the iPhone.
It looks like absolute magic. But magic has serious vulnerabilities. We also saw hackers exploit Meta's new AI support bot recently.
Right. They manipulated the AI to bypass security protocols. They hijacked high-profile Instagram accounts.
This included profiles linked directly to the Obama White House.
There are real legal consequences emerging from these vulnerabilities right now. OpenAI is facing a first-of-its-kind lawsuit.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It was filed by the state of Florida. The filing claims ChatGPT played a role in tragic events, including shootings, suicides, and harmful user behavior.
Just to be clear to the listener, we're simply reporting the claims exactly as stated in the filing. We aren't taking a side here.
Right. We remain completely impartial. But it is a major legal test for the industry.
It is the defining tension of this entire era. They are building the airplane while flying it at supersonic speeds.
The capital demands require them to push new features constantly. They need a return on that massive infrastructure investment we talked about.
But the safety mechanisms are inherently reactive. They learn from mistakes after they happen. When the system is this deeply integrated into daily life, those mistakes carry severe, real-world weight.
So how do companies responsibly scale a $190 billion infrastructure when basic safety guardrails are still failing?
Well, the uncomfortable truth is that they often don't scale it responsibly. The scale is simply moving faster than the security protocols can adapt.
They rely on patching vulnerabilities after the fact.
Yeah. But when an AI agent has access to your medical records or your company's server infrastructure, a post-incident patch isn't really good enough.
Growth is outpacing safety, making the cloud a deeply unpredictable foundation.
Exactly. It is a precarious balancing act. So cloud AI is demanding unsustainably massive data centers. We saw that clearly with the SpaceX water issues.
Oh, absolutely. It is gobbling up massive corporate budgets. The industry is desperate for a pressure release valve.
And what a pivot it is.
The Nvidia thinks they have the exact solution. Move the AI out of the cloud completely. Put it directly on your physical desk.
They opened the Computex conference with a massive hardware drop. Nvidia is coming directly for the $200 billion desktop CPU market.
They unveiled something entirely new called the RTX Spark. This is a wild piece of hardware. They're calling it a 1 petaflop superchip.
A petaflop is a speed of 1 quadrillion calculations per second. Whoa, just imagine having a 1 petaflop superchip sitting on your desk.
It's crazy.
It's literal supercomputer power running silently right in your home office.
It changes the paradigm entirely. It packs the CPU, the GPU, the RAM, and the CDA software together seamlessly.
The CDA software is Nvidia's proprietary coding platform for parallel processing.
The ultimate goal here is to run hefty local LLMs easily. An LLM is the underlying mathematical brain that powers modern chatbots.
Right. Nvidia wants to completely kill the traditional point-and-click PC experience.
Yeah.
They want you talking to a local supercomputer instead.
They teamed up directly with Microsoft for this massive rollout. They're building secure sandboxes right into the core of Windows.
A sandbox is a secure, isolated digital quarantine zone on your computer.
Right. It lets you run untrusted code without risking your entire hard drive.
You can deploy local agents securely inside these sandboxes. They specifically mentioned running complex open-source tools like OpenClaw or Hermes right on your desktop.
No cloud connection required, zero latency, complete privacy.
Heavyweights are already locked in for the big fall release. We are going to see new machines from Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Microsoft.
Over 100 software makers are fully on board. That includes massive legacy players like Adobe.
It also includes newer visual tools like ComfyUI. Nvidia is aggressively targeting the builder market here.
If you build AI workflows, you know the physical reality of the space. The Mac Mini has been the undisputed king of local development.
Apple's unified memory architecture is incredible for this stuff.
Yeah.
It is currently the most affordable way to run heavy tools like OpenClaw smoothly.
Nvidia is clearly tired of watching Apple take that builder market unopposed. They want those developers back on Windows architecture.
But there's a massive catch here. We have to look at their history. Nvidia tried ARM-based Windows devices back in 2013.
It was a massive, highly publicized failure. They lost $900 million on that specific flop.
It was a brutal track record. The hardware just didn't translate into a good user experience, and the current pricing is a massive hurdle.
Nvidia currently sells a DGX Spark developer mini computer. It is meant to preview this new ecosystem.
Yeah, and it costs around $4,800.
2-sec silence. Will consumers actually drop nearly $5,000 on a Windows machine when Nvidia's last attempt was a disaster?
That is the ultimate test of this strategy. The Mac Mini is dominant precisely because it offers incredible efficiency at a very low price point.
Developers are very practical people. They care about overhead.
Exactly. If the new OEM machines, like the rumored Surface Laptop Ultra, sit at that premium $5,000 tier, they will absolutely struggle. Builders simply won't adopt a completely new workflow if it costs 5 times more than a proven, reliable Apple setup.
If they miss on price, developers will just keep buying Apple.
Right. It all comes down to basic accessibility. You can't start a revolution if nobody can afford the entry ticket.
It's time to pull back and look at the big picture here. Artificial intelligence is fundamentally a physical industry. We talk about it like it's magic in the ether.
But the code is just software. The actual battleground is hardware.
We saw SpaceX fighting for local municipal water rights just to cool their servers.
We saw Alphabet dropping $190 billion on physical infrastructure like land and copper.
We see Nvidia trying to put a 1 petaflop superchip directly inside your house. The bottleneck for human progress isn't mathematics anymore. The bottleneck is physical reality. It's the physical limits of planet Earth.
When you use an AI tool today, I want you to think about this. Think about the physical supply chain that made your instant answer possible. Think about the millions of gallons of water cooling those massive servers in the desert. Think about the local power grid straining under the load of 1 billion daily queries.
It's wild to visualize.
If water rights and localized desktop superchips dictate the next decade of technology, ask yourself this. Will the ultimate winner of the AI race be the visionary who writes the absolute best code?
Right.
Or will it be the corporation that quietly controls the physical plumbing of the planet?
That is the big question.
2-sec silence. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We appreciate your time, your focus, and your curiosity. Be sure to subscribe and return for our next conversation. Take care of yourselves.